Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation Boston, turn 12.2 CCP and 12.3 USSR. It is January 1942. Again, the CCP has nothing to do, they have two in the bank. We will now start USSR's turn. USSR will only have two tech rolls this turn because they will be using factory movement to strategic rail move a major factory. First, I tried for jet fighters at an 8 or higher. PBE generated a 6, so I failed. Second, I tried for strategic rockets at a 9 or higher. PBE generated a 3, so I failed. I also PBE'd USSR's diplomacy roles. It seems like USSR still gets a third diplomacy role, even though they're moving their factory, but that doesn't feel right to me, so I'm going to reach out to Morton and ask him if that was right. So I said that I was going to PBE for Norway and Sweden as my first two choices, and then if I did get a third choice, it would be Iran. PBE generated an 8 for Norway, so I failed, a 12 for Sweden, so I failed, and a 5 for Iran, so I failed. Okay, purchases. USSR has 47 IPP to spend. I will upgrade 2 militia for 4, 1 airborne infantry for 3, that's 7, 6 advanced mechanized infantry for 24, that's 31, 1 medium armor for 6, that's 37, and 2 T-34s for 10, that's 47. Combat movement. Got a lot of combat this turn. First, here in Cheetah, I'm going to be doing a border skirmish with Western Manchuria. There's a mountain border here, so I'll be coming with 1 infantry, 2 cavalry, a advanced mechanized infantry, and artillery versus that militia in 1 round of combat. Okay, from Leningrad, there's an air transport carrying 1 airborne. It will fly down to East Poland and perform an airborne assault on East Poland. So it's 1 to northern Belarusia, 2 to southern Belarusia, 3 to Lubelski, 4 to East Poland. That's a walk-on. And it has a movement of 3 left, 1 to Western Ukraine, 2 to Eastern Ukraine, 3, and it'll land in Orel-Kursk. That's worth 1. Get out my rondel. Okay, so that's 1 up for USSR to 45, 1 down for Germany to 56. Okay. You know what? Yeah, that's right. That's right. I do have enough movement because I had an air base in Leningrad. Okay, going to do some convoy raiding up in A5. 1 submarine will convoy raid in A13. 3 submarines will convoy raid. And then the seaplane will fly out to A8, go on map, and then it'll come back and land in Leningrad. So those will be my convoy raids. Okay, from Leningrad, 2 fighters will fly to Kyiv. So they have a range of 5. 1 to northern Belarusia, 2 to southern Belarusia, 3 to western Ukraine, 4 to Kyiv. They will land in eastern Ukraine. The 2 fighters in the tactical from Orel-Kursk will fly 1-2 to Kyiv. They will land back, the fighters will land back in Orel-Kursk, but the tactical is going to land in eastern Ukraine with the other 2 fighters from Leningrad. Kind of a complicated turn here. Okay. From Orel-Kursk, I'm going to have the movement 2 units there are going to move to eastern Ukraine, join that task force card. They're going to keep moving. They have the 8 advanced mechanized and 2 T-34s and the 2 tank destroyers, those 12 units will still have a movement of 2, or a movement of 1 left from eastern Ukraine. All right. So let's divide up these forces because I need to surround Kyiv. From eastern Ukraine, 10 infantry, 4 motorized infantry. So that leaves back that 1 motorized, leaves back those 2 infantry. 19 advanced mechanized infantry, so that leaves back 6. 6 of the ones that started there and still have a movement of 2. There were 17 that started there, so there's 6 held back that still have a movement of 2. 2 light armor, 2 T-34s, 2 tank destroyers, and 5 anti-aircraft artillery. That's why there's 1 anti-aircraft being held back. That force is going to move into western Ukraine. That is going to surround Kyiv. That's a walk-on worth 1. So Russia goes up to 46, Germany drops to 55. All right, from eastern Ukraine, 2 militia, 2 infantry, those 4 units will go into Kyiv. They are suffering the river penalty. From eastern Ukraine, 2 cavalry, and 3 advanced mechanized will go 1-2 into southern Ukraine. They'll go 1 into southern Ukraine, 2 into Kyiv, so they will not face the river penalty. So it'll be 2 militia, 2 infantry, 2 cavalry, 3 advanced mechanized infantry. Those will be the units that are going into Kyiv, along with the 5 aircraft that I told you about earlier. So hopefully that's enough to get enough pips. We will see. Okay. From eastern Ukraine, we have to break out this. We have to break out the 3. There's 3 mechanized that didn't go in. So reiterating what happened, there were 17 advanced mechs starting in eastern Ukraine and 8 advanced mechs starting in Kursk. 8 of them went here, and then 11 more of the 17 went there. Of the 6 remaining, 3 went 1-2 into Kyiv, and the other 3 go 1-2 into Bessarabia. This motorized tows the anti-aircraft to Bessarabia. And from southern Ukraine, this infantry moves into Bessarabia. Okay, let's put these guys over here. So it's 1 infantry, 1 motorized, 3 advanced mechs, and a anti-aircraft. Bessarabia is worth 1, so 1 up to 47, 1 down to 54 for the Germans. I think that is it, but let me make doubly sure. I didn't show you the lower part here of Bessarabia. Sorry, there's a infantry, motorized infantry, 3 advanced mechs, and an anti-aircraft artillery there. Okay. Let's roll some dice. Let's start with the convoy rating. We'll start with the seaplane in A8. He has developed radar, so that gives him +1. The seaplane gets +1, so this is flat. Red is the attacker. Well, that does max damage. So $2 off the North Sea line. Now we'll do 3 submarines, and this is a +1 because the subs get a +2 and his radar gives him +1. So red is the attacker. Fail. Second roll. 1 damage. Third roll. Darn it. Okay, so I only did 3 points of damage, but I have been consistently doing 5 points of damage to him. It's interesting, I would have done 5 points of damage if not for radar. So I think I have Germany with 65. He drops down 3 to 62. So $1 more than last turn. Okay. Let's do that border skirmish. How about that? So I've got 1 at 2, which is my first strike artillery. Nope. Then I've got 3 at 2, because I've got an infantry boosted by the artillery to 2, and then 2 cavalry at 2. Nope. And then 1 at 3. Crap. And he's got 1 at 2. Watch him get a hit. Whew. Barely. Okay, so nothing. Much ado about nothing. All right, let's do the, I guess the only attack is Kyiv, isn't it? Okay, so I have 2 militia at 1 and 2 infantry at 1. These guys are facing the river. I guess first we do the 2 fortification first strikes at 5. Miss. We've got 4 at 1. Miss. Then I think I've got 5 at 3. Fuck. Then I've got 4 at 6. 2 hits and 1 at 7. 3 hits. Okay. So he has got 1 at, let's see. He's boosted to 4 by the fortification and then drops to 3 for being surrounded. Miss. And then he's got the infantry are boosted to 6 and knocked down to 5 by being out of supply. So 2, 4, 5, 6 at 5. Fuck. God, it's just ridiculous. Okay, I lose 2 militia and 2 infantry. Oh my God, it's so irritating. All right, and he loses 1 militia, and yeah, I had way more pips and he does more hits. All right, 1 militia and 2 infantry, so he's down to 4 infantry, and he'll be at 3. All right, let's see, I've got, again, I've got the 5 at 3. 1 hit. And I've got 4 at 6. 3 hits. And I think that's it, but I'll roll the attack anyway. Miss. Okay, so he has the 4 at 3. 1 hit. Okay, well, I figured I would lose, if I got unlucky, I'd lose 4, but I lost 5, so I will lose a cavalry. Okay. Very, very, very irritating. Bad luck turn. No tech, no diplomacy. Then I didn't get the border skirmish, and then I got diced again in Kyiv. Ugh. All right. So I take it with 1 cavalry and 3 advanced mechanized infantry. It's worth 3. I go up to 50. Germany goes to 51. All right. I think that is it as far as combat this turn. Non-combat movement. From Leningrad, I'm going to strategic rail move that major factory down to eastern Ukraine. So in eastern Ukraine, I've got the 2 fighters and the tactical, and then in Kursk, I've got the 2 fighters and the air transport. Okay, from Oral, is that right? Is it Oral Kursk? Yeah, from Oral Kursk, 4 militia will move to southern Belarusia. From Smolensk, 7 infantry will move to southern Belarusia. Okay, from Moscow, 1 airborne infantry will move to Kaluga Oblast. From Leningrad, 1 airborne infantry will move to northern Belarusia. Is that on camera? From Moscow, 4 advanced mechanized infantry will move to Oral Kursk. From Donetsk-Kuban, 2 militia will move to eastern Ukraine. From Crimea, 1 infantry will move to Taurida. And I think that's everything. Let me double check. I'm not sure if that move from Crimea up to Taurida, I didn't probably put that on camera, sorry about that. Oral Kursk, Moscow, Donetsk, Crimea. Okay, over here, from Novosibirsk, 1 militia moves to eastern Kazakhstan. And from North Sakhalin, 1 infantry moves to Amur. My feint didn't work. No one's believing that I'm doing anything. From Amur, 1 militia moves to Primorsky Krai. Okay, I think that's everything I've got. Okay, placement of units. Let's do it over here. In Crimea, I'm gonna upgrade 1 militia to an infantry. That's one of my upgrades. Here in Cheetah. I'm going to lay down or place 1 advanced mechanized infantry and medium armor. All right. And then I think that's everything there. In eastern Kazakhstan, that will be my other militia upgrade. That militia will be upgraded to an infantry. Now we can come over here to Moscow, where I will place 4 advanced mechanized infantry. And then in Oral Kursk, I will place 1 airborne infantry, 1 advanced mechanized infantry, and 2 T-34s. All right, collect income. USSR's at 50 plus 3 bonus income, so they get 53. All right, and then Spanish Republican recruitment roll, add a 4. Rolled a 4, okay. So I will get 2 more militia. Boy, I've not had many successes, certainly not a third of the time am I succeeding. Because I would have bought more militia, so I've succeeded 2 times. Okay, so that gets me up to 4 militia there. In Catalonia, 4 militia, 6 infantry, 1 fighter, in port, 1 heavy cruiser. In Sea Zone A44, 1 destroyer, 1 coastal submarine. In Sea Zone A5, 1 submarine. In A13, 3 submarines. In Leningrad, 10 militia, 3 anti-aircraft artillery. In port in Leningrad, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 light cruiser, 3 destroyers, 1 torpedo boat destroyer. Is there anything I'm missing up there in Leningrad? I guess that's it. Karelia, 1 militia. Kola, 1 militia. Northern Belarusia, 1 airborne infantry. Southern Belarusia, 4 militia, 7 infantry. Orel Kursk, 1 airborne infantry. 5 advanced mechanized, 2 T-34s. Kaluga Oblast, 1 airborne infantry. Moscow, 2 militia, 4 advanced mechanized infantry. Maybe I didn't say an Orel Kursk. 1 airborne infantry, 5 advanced mechanized infantry, 2 T-34s, 2 fighters, 1 air transport. Stalingrad, 3 militia. Eastern Ukraine, 2 militia, 2 fighters, 1 tactical bomber. Tarita, 1 infantry. Kiev, 1 cavalry, 3 advanced mechanized. Western Ukraine, 10 infantry, 4 motorized infantry, 14 advanced mechanized infantry. Is this right? I should have 25. Why? What? It should be 19. I've totally screwed something up here. I should have 19 advanced mechanized infantry, because I had 3 went here and 3 went there, and 19 went there, so I don't know. Oh, I see. Here's the red chip. There's a red chip off to the side. Okay. 2 light armor, 2 T-34s, 2 tank destroyers, 5 anti-aircraft artillery. In East Poland, 1 airborne infantry. In Bessarabia, 1 infantry, 1 motorized infantry, 3 advanced mechanized, 1 anti-aircraft artillery. I think this is wrong. I have a German rondel, but I had a dude there at the start of the turn. This guy was there, so I don't know why. Maybe I just forgot to take that German rondel off. I hope that's right, because I did a lot of stuff. I moved this through here. I'm pretty sure I had moved that guy into southern Ukraine last turn. I probably just didn't take off the rondel. I guess that's what happened. In Sea Zone M11, 1 coastal submarine. Tarita, 1 infantry. North Caucasia, 2 militia. Transcaucasia, 4 militia. Stalingrad, 3 militia. Eastern Kazakhstan, 1 infantry. Novosibirsk, 2 militia. Chita, 2 infantry, 2 cavalry, 2 advanced mechanized, 1 medium armor, 1 artillery. What is this guy here? Amur, 3 infantry. Primorsky Krai, 3 militia. North Sakhalin, 1 infantry. You know what? At the start of the turn, I had 1 advanced mechanized. He's going to move over to here. I'm going to turn this into an advanced mechanized. Calling it audible. I think that is that. Next up is Admiral Macy with Japan 12.4.